Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and we are back looking at some hands I played at 20 now this week on an iPoker skin. We've got 26 hands to get through, so no long intros. Let's just get straight stuck into the hands. Please hit the like button if you don't mind ever so much, and if you can be bothered, please do comment. Big shout out to Enut from the Sky Spoker Streets who regularly comments. Thanks for that. And to Ryan too. And anyone else that comments, please do stick them in. I'm not sure how useful it is, but it's nice to get some responses anyway, just to know someone out there is actually watching. So yeah, please do comment if you feel you've got anything to say, good or bad. Here we are. We have King Jack offsuit. We have a whale that's open middle position. Mandatory 3-bet, I would imagine. To try and isolate, I go with the slightly larger size. If this was a reg, I'd be going 8 bigs versus a whale and making it 9. Don't think it matters that much. Don't think ranges that cold call behind change much or 4-bet ranges, but we just want to make it a little bit bigger. Try and ISO a little bit more effectively and just try and get a bad player to put more money in the pot in a situation that usually won't be good for them. We do get heads up. We flop an open end straight draw. Villain now just leads for full pot. Oh, I remember this guy. He just had this ridiculous donk bet percentage, 54%. I think he called my 3-bet out of position. I think this was like the third or the fourth time, maybe the third time, I'm not sure. And it just donked full pot every time. I'm like, you what, mate? And every time I'd had nothing so far. He was just basically binning me with pot-sized donk bets in 3-bet pots. This time we've flopped a little bit of equity. Well, not a little bit, quite a lot actually. Got like 2 overs and a gut shot to the nuts. Yeah, and I was just tired of him. So I just said, fuck you. We're playing a big one, sir. You know, I'm not worried. If he's got calls with a 10, a 9, or an 8, then good for him. We've probably got, I don't know, 30% equity. If he's got a draw, then hopefully we're ahead of it. It's not an ace high flush draw. Hopefully he's not just like potting it with ace X here and calling it off with the best hand. But I just got tired of this. You can't continually have it. And I just got tired of him basically and just ripped it in his face because fuck you. He absolutely snapped me off. And we rivered what was hopefully is the nuts. We were in rough shape. Well, not rough shape. He had our gut shot blocked. He had top pair. So yeah, we got lucky there. But you know, the guy was out of line with. I mean, look, he's calling 3-bets out of position with queen 10 off. Bad thing. He's just donking full pot with a fair enough top pair, but not the strongest of hand versus my range, etc. I'm not pretending I played this hand well. I was just frustrated with this guy. And we had some equity. I was like, you know what, we're just going to fucking run it against you. Or maybe you fold, who knows? Because you can't always have it when you're donking pot. He did have something this time. I wouldn't say it was it, but he had something, and then he got sucked out on. So goes. Next time we have queen 10 offsuit. We have villain 1 in the small blind. I don't know why I'm saying this. You can see it yourself. Villain 1 folds. Big blind's obviously going to come along in some capacity. I'm presuming by calling, because I wouldn't be calling a 3-bet with this hand unless he made a significant sizing error. He does call. We flop nothing. Villain checks. I think I've been too passive in these spots lately. He's doing too much checking back. I wouldn't be surprised to see me check back here, but I think I'd rather see myself c-bet. 2 overs, backdoor straight draw, etc. This guy does raise a little bit post-flop. It's small sample, but these numbers are significantly higher than population. But I still, man, he's only got 30% pull versus c-bet. I can go either way. I think probably prefer c-betting though. What we do, villain calls, turn a 10. Now he just donks turn. I definitely don't remember this hand. I think we have nothing to do here but call. I think it's the only thing we can do. That's what we do. River trips. Now he overbets. Clearly never folding. I think versus overbet. Too thin to raise. I don't know. Tell me that if you're watching still. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please put your comment before you see the result. I know I can't possibly police that, but yeah, just like stop and think. Now, would you just call here or would you raise? Relevant stats are he bets the river 41% of the time, and when he gets called, when he's been called after betting, he's only won 60% of the time, which is roundabout where you should be, but population typically is a lot higher than this number, both fish and reg population. So what are you doing here? Are you just calling or are you raising? I think personally, raising's too thin. I did just call, and Villain he had a bluff. Here's check suited, opening the button, calling. Or if you are commenting on hands, by the way, please just include what time in the video it was, so I can quickly get back to the video and look at the spot again and engage with you. Sometimes people are like, oh, in this hand, I would have done X, Y, and Z. And I've got to scroll through the video, search the video to try and find the spot so I can meaningfully engage with the person who's kind enough to respond. So if you don't mind, if you do comment about any hands in the video, please do say what time in the video it was so I can quickly find it. Here we've opened flat from the small blind, not at all surprised by that. He's playing 68-4. Flop ourselves top two pairs, which is nice. Villain checks. I think we can overbet this, or we could just bet. But I think two broadways. I think in theory we can overbet this. I'm not super well studied in these sort of spots, but I think we can maybe overbet. Maybe not quite so much because of how coordinated the board is. Maybe Mixie is more likely to want to do it. I don't fucking know. I wouldn't be surprised to see me go with small overbet here, but equally wouldn't be surprised to see me go with a 70% sizing. I am surprised to see myself go with this size. This is bad. Big hand against a whopper. Just start building the pot more than this, Reg. Yeah, he's only got 50 bigs. I don't like this. This is a bit of pretty shitty autopilot from me. We get the min raise. Well, let's have a 3-bet, shall we? Reg. I think I remember this hand too, and I think this is me basically just fucking around at this point. Just reopening the betting, hoping he will just continue to. Yeah, remember this one. This one, strategically and theoretically, is terrible, but I had fun whilst it was happening. Because he now does this, so I now do this. He does that. I just decide to call. He checks. And at this point, I'm like, well, okay, let's just give him one more chance to raise, which he takes. I was tempted to slow roll him, but I didn't. I just put it in. And our guy had ace king that he slow played pre and then couldn't get away from post. Ace queen, we're going to ISO here. This is two limps. 7x, something like that, I think would be my standard. It's a cold call. I might do these in the correct order. 1 second. I am. They just seem back to front to me, but they're not. Everyone calls, so ISO was a complete failure in terms of getting heads up with somebody. We managed to get quite a decent amount of money in the pot with a premium holding. We completely break the flop. Check, check, check. I don't think there's any reason to bet here versus players with this profile on this node at any frequency. That was for Duesenberg. He likes using all those technical comments in an ironic way. So that was for him. He probably doesn't even watch this shit, but it was for him anyway, just in case he ever does. Turn queen. Player now just probes for 1/6 pot. 1/5 pot, sorry. No, 1/6 pot. Call. Do we raise here? I think we've always got this guy beat. Feels like a raise to me. But do we want to reopen? This is the question. This is the dilemma here. Because I kind of want to raise against this size. It's a pretty dynamic board. We want to get value. We're not going to make draws fold. Let's be honest. These two guys are both whoppers. They're not folding draws. So it's not like we can protect our hand here. Because if they have a draw, then they're just not folding it. But do we want to try and get more value for our hand now? But then we reopen the betting and give either player the potential to shove, and then that would stink. And this is quite the dilemma. Again, another one for the comments. Don't forget to put the time in so I can get back to this hand if you do comment. Who's reopening here? Who's just calling? I just don't know what I like. I think I probably like reopening. I think it's pretty unlikely that we're going to get 3-bet by a hand worse than ours from like these relatively passive villains. So I think I probably like reopening and then cry folding should someone then jam. And reopen to what's in the pot? If we call, that's 44. Reopen to 20 something, like 22 maybe. I did just call. I understand why. Check. He now bets 6. Do we now have a value? What a messed up hand this is. Do we now have a value raise against this? Our hand feels too strong to just call 6 bigs here. I think we have a raise. Just a small raise. And hope not to get 3-bet, I think. Small value raise here. Because we can just get called by Queen, Jack, King, Queen. Maybe even like a strongish 10, maybe. I think we have to raise here. And we get called. And this guy just had the nuts and didn't raise the river. He literally has the nuts. And he just calls a river raise with 100 big blinds left behind. What can we say? What can we say about that? Sometimes best to say nothing, isn't it? Raise, call, fold, flop ourselves, and nut flush draw. Guys folding stats post flop are pretty low. We don't know very much about how aggressive he is. We haven't got a big enough sample. Again, I can go either way here. We have a nut flush draw. We can just decide to try and just put money in the pot by c-betting. We can also check and then decide to either check call or check raise depending on sizing. It's a spot that's hard to misplay. Just do either edge. It doesn't matter. We do go with check this time. Villain bets large, so I'm going to be less incentivized to raise versus a large bet. I think we just have way less fold equity when people bet big. And we do when they bet small. I think usually people are overall like just betting the size of their hand. So if you'd bet like 1/3 pot here, I'd expect that to be a relatively weak range. I've lost my train of thought here because I had 2 phone calls quickly in a row. And I've forgotten what I said, so we'll start this again. I do apologise. I think like when players bet this size, they bet the size of the hand. When they bet this big, we have way less fold equity. If they'd bet, say, 1/3 pot here or quarter pot, we have a lot more fold equity, so we can consider raising. Not that we necessarily crave fold equity because we have a lot of pot equity, but I think we'd like some fold equity if we were check raising. And I don't think we have much against this size. I don't think we need to start being a rush to blow the pot up when villains bet pretty damn big. So I'd like to see myself just call here, which is what we do. We turn the nuts. Villain big bet flop. Is he likely to slow down on this card? Maybe a little bit. Or maybe if he's big bet flop because he's got a strong hand like a set, maybe he just wants to continue piling money to protect. I don't know. We don't know enough about this opponent. If we had to get any read to say it looks quite aggressive on the early streets and maybe river is kind of just bets when he has it, but we don't know because the sample size is too small. Could we just small lead here? Could we like, because it's like theoretically a pretty good card for the previous street caller when the flush gets in. Could we start building leads? Do we need to start building leads against this player type? These are all questions I would have been asking myself in game. I actually don't mind leading here, but I also don't mind checking and then either raising or calling, depending on his bet size. I do go with a check this time. He now downsizes to half pot. Now this is a size. This is like a sizing scheme he's using that I would attack if I had a bluff, where he's used like the bet a smaller percentage of the pot on a future street than he did in the previous street. But he still bet like half pot, so it's not like it's really small size, and he bet full pot on the flop, or even a full pot on the flop. So I think this is a bit less reliable of a like sizing tell read, if you will. But it does indicate, based on like this like really low river bet percentage, that he might just be gearing up to use his size on the turn to just check back and show down on river. So maybe we just raise now, because I think river might go check a bit too often. So maybe just raise now, or call this and then just lead rivers. I'm not confident after seeing this downsize that he's going to bet river too often. We do go with raise, and then he just goes all in. So maybe he has got a stronger hand than I anticipated. It didn't look like he had a hand that wanted to go all in on the turn to me. But he's done it. He's furnished us with it. We have the nuts, so obviously we're in. And Villain he had the second nuts. So my sizing tell read on this player was quite far off. It's king suited. Raised from some kind of reg 27-18 in the games I play. This is sometimes about as close to a reg as you fucking see. We 3-bet, he 4-bets. We're just all in, I guess. Oh. Why haven't I gone all in here? This guy got an absurdly low 4-bet or something. Why have I not gone all in? 4-bet plus after raising. Does it half the time? Don't know why I haven't gone all in here. No idea what's going on here. This is just the easiest slam dunk jam of all time. Don't know why I haven't found it. Villain now bets. Don't know what's going on here. He's got a 100% C-bet in 3-bet pots. It's a 4-bet pot, so you have to assume he's probably got 100% C-bet in 4-bet pots too. Well, you don't have to assume that because it's a small sample. But maybe he does. And remember this hand. I'm about to do something here that is probably terrible in theory. Probably absolutely terrible, because we shouldn't be flattening this hand pre very often. Not saying never, but we should be very often. And I'm about to raise here because this is like going to be a way, way over bluff spot. But we can just call versus. I think I had a brain fart here. We can just call if he's over bluffing. Yeah, I think I'm about to raise. And then Villain just folds. But yeah, this is me just way overcomplicating stuff, getting way too fancy. I mean, I like that it worked, but what the fuck's going on, Reg? What are you doing, Reg? Were we deeper pre? Is that why we maybe? Ah, yeah, 150 bigs deep pre. So ignore the first part. I'm not sure. When we probably still can pile pre for 150 bigs. So wait, it was going to be 100 and. What did we start like? We started the big. Wow, right. We started 160 deep. 170 deep. Fair enough. So let's re-review the hand. Because I didn't look at stack depth, so I think just calling here this deep is probably fine. So ignore the first thing I said. I was rushing too much. I don't hate this. And given how deep we are, I now hate this much less. If he is auto c-betting, then we're just going to get a lot of like auto folds from him, which is quite nice when the pot's like already 57 bigs. If he does call, and hopefully we're not drawing dead versus the queen, and we can sometimes improve. If he jams, you have an easy fold. I still don't love this, but I like it a lot more now, given the depth that we're at. it puts a heck of a lot of pressure on his range. Yeah, sure, we might be doing this with the best hand. He might just have some random weird 4-bet and then just be like bluffing, and then we blow up his bluff. But it's not like we have a hand that can really want to call down anyway. So I hate this much less now, but still, it's a weird sport. I played it weird. Don't really know what else to say, to be honest with you, other than let's go Nitspew. Queen 4, open button, small blind, tiny 3-bet. We call. Villain bets full pot. Not a nice spot to be facing full pot on this board, but we do have the bottom end of a straight draw. We have this overcard that's probably as much use, and we have the backdoor flush draw. So I don't think we can fold to this, although we're obviously very uncomfortable already. We do call. Turn the straight, but it's the worst end of the straight, but we do add the flush draw. Villain now bets full pot again. Only 42 behind. Do we think Villain has much 9x in his min 3-bet? Have some, but it's way more likely he's just going to have like over pairs that he shouldn't be doing this with, but it probably still does. I mean, he's got a 9. We've got out still. If he doesn't have a 9, then he's probably drawing close to dead. And I think he might call it off drawing close to dead too. I think we just have a jam here against a fish who might be overplaying a whole host of things. If they have a 9, then good for them. It's time to get their edge. But I can see Villains easily calling this off with hands like pocket 10s, pocket jacks, pocket queens here. Just desperately trying to protect their hand against the draws that are there. I don't think in theory we should jam here. I think in practice versus his size, this is going to be so value heavy. And I think it's going to be so few folds coming after we jam. I think probably just jam. We'll just call it off. We do get there with the flush. And he did just have pocket 10s. So, yeah, I think this is a good example to I see so many players in these spots. It's like, oh, keep his bluffs in, etc. Don't raise here, keep the bluffs in. As it happens, he would have got paid in the river here because he would have made a straight. But that's just a fallacy. That when players are just betting usually big sizes, they're quite polar. And they are way more weighted towards value than bluffs. So when people are just betting really big hands, so really big sizes, and you have a nutted hand, don't be afraid to fast play, because more often than not, it's just going to win you a lot of big pots. And the Villains are going to fold way less than perhaps you might think they do. Don't be obsessed with, keep the bluffs in. There's so few bluffs to begin with when Villains are betting big. Don't worry about keeping what few bluffs they've got in. Just fast play your strong hands. Whale, min raising. We defend the 7-4 suited. I think versus the 3x I maybe wouldn't defend this. Versus a whale I probably would, but versus a lot of players I wouldn't. Well, versus min in position against whale, it's mandatory to defend in my opinion. He checks. We have some equity here. How often do we think Villain is check folding here? Well, we can actually explore that a little bit. His fold versus float bet is, we can't explore it that much. He does have fold to float in his locker. Who knows? Again, here, I don't mind checking back just to try and realise some equity and then start bluffing later streets if we face 2 checks. I don't mind just betting as well and just building a pot for when we hit. Sometimes he's going to fold, etc. We do check back this time. We turn a straight. Villain now bets half pot. I think we have a pretty comfortable raise here. Try to build the pot. We do raise. Villain 3 bets. And now we're very much in defensive mode. We're not going to reopen the betting again here. We're just very much in, well, as it was Super Bowl yesterday, and American sports fans have the shittest chance ever. We're just in defense. Defense. Fucking boring chants them Americans have. Fucking awful. Awful. I was watching the other week in the playoff game, and the chant was just bullshit. bullshit. Like, fucking hell. You've had years and years and years to develop fucking chants, and you come up with that shit. I mean, in English football, and I'm calling it football, not soccer, in English football, they've got entire fucking songs with fucking verses and choruses. And in America, they have defense. Bullshit. Fucking grow up, America. You fucking shite sports fans. Anyways, we do just call, because we are playing defense. He now over Betts River. This is just so underbluffed. I think we should just fold our flush here. I don't think there's any other player than just fold our flush. We've got a massive whopper. He has bigger flushes in range. He has full houses in range. And he's 3-bet the turn and overbet nearly 2x pot on river. I think we just have an easy fold here. Which is what we do. We played defense and we folded. King 4 suited, opening, get him in 3-bet, get a call, just coming over the ride edge. Flop 2 pairs. Get donked into by a guy who so far has donked 3 from 3. Again, I think just fast playing here. I'm not worrying about trying to keep this dude in the pot. I mean, what I did in game, who knows? Because we all play a bit different in game than we do when we're reviewing. But I think just fast playing here. And just like, fine, this guy's got a lot of chips. We'd like to win a massive pot from him. But I think just fast play against this guy is going to be the play. We do. All goes in, whatever. Run it out. And the guy had 2-3 off suit. So he fast played with the 2 pairs. He has a hand that he should never have, and all the money goes in. Beautiful. Open another min 3-bet. Do we want to 4-bet here to try and get heads up versus this player? Do we just want to call? Don't think we want to reopen. Don't think we do. Check, check. He bets half pot. Call. It's call reg. Try and make the nuts. We do make the nuts. Check. There's any reason I think this player's going to slow down. So I think just check and just try and like check shove. He does bet. He does call. Now I think we spring our trap. Lots of draws out there that can call. Lots of made hands that can call. Yeah, just raise reg. We just put the lot in, which I think is fine. Call, fold. And we beat top 2 pair. Life is good. 3-bet. Call. Donks half pot. Again, you know, I can hear in my head a lot of players saying they just call, keep the plus in, etc. I think just fast play. Again, 78-15, 3-bet pot. Just fast play now. Try and get all the value against all these 1 pair hands, his draws, etc. Calls. Turn. Pretty abysmal looking card. He now bets half pot again. Now I don't know. I mean, we can't go anywhere against a 78 VPIP, but there's many ways we beat here. Sometimes you just got to take your medicine and just basically choose your own adventure. How do I choose to go broke here? Do I choose to go broke by jamming and still trying to get some value? Or do I choose to go broke by going call, call and hope the river isn't a heart? Make a decision, Reg. Make a decision, Reg. I think just all in against this player type. And he had second pair. He's got to fast play these good hands. He's got to fast play these good hands against morons. 2 9s, open. 2 regs or regish players in the blinds. 3-bet, I think probably just about favour 3-bet here. Calls. Check. Our hand could definitely use some protection here. Just like folding random over cards. I mean, if he's got a hand like Jack 10 of hearts here, just having him fold it's quite useful. So I'd like a C-bet, and I like a C-bet of half pot or bigger. You get check raised. And it's a small check raise. This is fucking scary. This guy does raise flop 12% of the time. Is our hand too weak to fast play here? I think it probably is. But I don't like fold, but I don't like the spot. Turn 6. He bets half pot. I mean, did he really check raising a 6 on the flop? Probably not. But you can easily be check raising a hand like 9s, 10s, jacks, maybe even queens. Oh, shit, the bed. That guy is pretty aggro. This spot's rough. I'd probably just call, but I don't love it. Maybe just fold. Fucking hell's bells. Again, another one for the comments. Don't forget to say the time of the hand so I can get back. What are you doing here versus this line? I mean, the guy's aggro, so I think probably just call, but I don't fucking like it. I really don't like it. With a queen, if he jams, I think at this point we'd probably committed because he's going to be jamming for 1/3 pot. He does check, and I imagine I snap check back here. There's just no value in betting whatsoever. Even though at this point I think the guy doesn't have a hand anymore because he just jams value on the river. Maybe we do jam because he just doesn't. Maybe he's got pocket 10s and he's like, no, I can't jam anymore, but he's never folding. Weird spot. We check back. And villain had king 10 offsuit, so what the fuck? Open. Another small 3-bet. We are very deep. Could 4-bet here. Probably just calling there. Flop an open ender. Villain bets large. Just calling, I think. Turn break. Villain bets half pot. Just calling again. River air. Oh, I reviewed this hand with my good e-friends Duesenberg and Waller only yesterday. We had quite a lot of discussion about this hand. He bets this size, and Waller's opinion was he doesn't trust fish to fold here. Doesn't trust him to fold over pairs. Even though there's a 4-line right there, we all concluded he probably didn't have much 9x in range. But Waller didn't want to trust him to fold. Juice was all about the raise. He wanted to raise to 90 to 100 or something like that. I ended up going with this raise size. But again, in the comments, tell me what you think. Would you bluff raise ever here versus a player of this profile? If you were bluff raising, what size would you go to? Or would you just fold because this guy probably just has a decent hand most of the time and is a whale, probably not going to be that into folding. So again, what would your line be here? We did end up winning the pot. He did just fold, but yeah, I thought that was quite an interesting hand. Pocket 8s, open, call, call, call. I thought a set might be coming. Check, just bet here. And we should be checking an awful lot multi-way, but we just got whoppers in the pot. So just start building the pot. We've got a set, start building a pot reg. So I check, fuck off reg, stab, call, fold. This board is just ridiculously dry. So we could make an argument for continuing our slow play here. Or we could just try and stack a king. This guy in particular, I think when we check raise, this guy's just getting to get out of the way nearly all of the time. This guy's range is just going to be quite weak, you'd imagine. Maybe he's got some King X on the button, like a King 10 suited type hand that didn't want to squeeze. I think just raise though and just hope someone's got a really strong hand, or a King X type hand. Okay, Reg, just slow play then. Check. Bet 3 bigs. Raise to 24 bigs. So is this guy raising King X now? We've just checked called and then checked again. Is he just attacking this like 3 bigs with King X? I think we call again. No, he's just never going to bet the river with a worse hand. I don't think he's going to try and value bet. Like, just say he does. Maybe if he's got King Jack suited exactly, we get to like trap against that. Or do we just like, right, this guy's clearly got a strong hand now. Do we just raise? But if we do raise here, he's going to fold all his lone King X. Probably never folding King Jack, to be fair. He doesn't have pocket jacks. He doesn't have pocket kings. So we basically have the nuts here. Does he have enough like calls in his range if we just jam now? I think he probably does. We just got to hope he's got like King Jack. I think just raise now for his fast play against someone who's repping a very strong hand. Oh, Reg, you are in trappy mode. River 5, and I think we just have to check now. We can't do anything but check. He goes all in. We have the easiest call ever. And we could have got that money in an awful lot sooner. 7-8 suited. ISO. Call. Big donk bet. Nothing to do but call here. Turn a flush. Bets again, but goes smaller. This guy's very aggro. Do we continue our slow play? Oh, no, not do we continue. Do we now start the slow play? Do we want to raise? Probably raise. Nope. River. Oh, now do we raise? There's another one I reviewed with Juice and Waller yesterday. I can't remember what was said about this one. I think we all agreed on this river. We probably can't raise now versus this size. Maybe we just can. I think we probably can. Although it's scary when he just like bombs river. I mean, from what I've learned from Master Data, this is typically going to be a pretty strong range. Now he's bet this big, but we can beat some pretty strong hands. We beat sets that might do this. We beat 2 pairs that might do this. And this player's very likely to be bad enough to just call it off with a non-flush hand. I think probably just raise. I didn't, of course. And he had King 9 offsuit. So this makes no sense. Like he downsized turn and then upsized river again. Never mind, we won the pot. Kings, open, 3 bet, 4 bets. Call. Queen 6-3. Guy looks pretty aggro post flop. I don't mind either here. Bet pretty large against a fish or check jam. I don't mind which. Check. Bet just 9. So now jamming seems a bit shit. If you'd bet bigger, like half pot or more, I prefer jam versus this size. Maybe just raise smaller. Now he's all in. We're all in. And he has a set of queens. Good for him. 2 jacks. Open on a call, flop top set, check. I mean, we block calls theoretically, but in practice we don't because he might just call with fucking ace 5 offsuit or whatever. Just start building the pot reg. Okay. I guess I'm trying to induce a raise here. Call. Check. Bet again, reg. Call. Bet all in, reg. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say about that one. The guy just had second pair. 2 kings, limp. This one we reviewed with Juice and Ryan yesterday too, and again there was different opinions. We ISO versus this. I mean, he's tagged as a reg, but I mean, what the fuck is he? 23-11, just tight fish, isn't he? He now clicks it back, and this was the first point of discussion. Ryan was all about the fuck you, I'm all in. I was very much about the guys just got pocket aces exactly. Not fold, of course, but don't raise again. I think Juice was in the same boat of like, yeah, this is just pocket aces a lot. Obviously, we can't fold, but it's just pocket aces a lot. So just call and not like Rams, like you said, you call it a set mine with kings. Not exactly set mine. I mean, I'd like to call here and then maybe we just get to somehow showdown. Or maybe we get to value better later street if he starts checking too often. So we're not calling just a set mine, but I am very much in defense mode again. Then we get this flop where it's like the one of the few 4-bets he can have that weren't beating us. Now he's beating us with the queen. He checks flop. I've seen this dance many times. I ain't betting this flop. Not a chance. Turn. He just mashes pot. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here now? And Ryan was very much in the fuck folding an overpair. I was very much in the fuck paying this twat off. And I think Juice just about come down on the, yeah, just fold 2. And I did just fold. And Ryan was disgusted with us both. He was disgusted with us both. And maybe that is an absolute criminal overfold. But if we're going to play with this profile, taking that line, this just is not going to be any kind of bluff. We beat Ace Queen, but the Ace Queen min 4-bet pre, probably not. He's ISO'd from the small blind. He's playing 23-11. He's ISO'd from the small blind. This range is just nutted. And then he's clicked it back 4-bet. Then he's checked the flop. Then he's potted the turn. He's just nutted. If he's got an Ace Queen past us, good for him, I guess. And most of the time, we're just going to be stone fucking dead to 2 outs here. King 10 offsuit, ISO, call, fold, flop 2 pairs, get dunked into. I'd like to see myself fast play here. We do. He's all in. We're all in. He had second pair. Fast play. Fast play, fast play, and fast play some more against bad players. Many limps. Be complete. Flop 2 pairs. Check, check, check. Bet. Fast play again, Rich. Pick up a cold call here. No one's got any money though, so who cares? All in. Call. Fold. Over a full house, which we needed to because this guy turned the nuts. King deuce suited. Open. Call. Fold. Flop a flush draw. Check. Don't mind here. Bet or check. Don't really care. We go with bet this time. He calls. Turn a flush. Check. Bet larger. Probably can't overbet, but probably bet large, like 70% pot. Now we get check raised. Fast play again, Reg. Nope. I'd have preferred to see myself fast play there. The guy's telling me he's got a good hand, and we've got a good hand. 9 river, he's all in. We call. Yeah, just fast play the turn, Reg, again. Just fast play. I don't know why I didn't follow my own rule there. Open the king by suited. Flop trips. It's good to be reg sometimes. Check. Bet. Reg. Just stack an ace, reg. Fuck's sake, just bet and stack an ace. Donk. Turn. We need to start putting a lot of money in this pot. Raise, hopefully. Yep. Call. Check. Just big bets. His kicker's now been upgraded if he has got a random ace. What size do we bet? All of it? Yeah, I think that's the size. Oh, Reg, why have we done that? Reg, why have we done that and not gone for it? The guy folds 11% on river. Just fucking jam, Reg. He's never folding an ace. Reg. Fuck's sake. King 7 suited. 3 bets. This is a bit wild by my standards. This is unexpected. Call. Check. Half pot. Not happy with this, but call, I guess. Check. Really unhappy with this, but the queen's a good card, but he's now bet twice in a 3-bet pot, albeit as the caller, but he does look aggro post-flop on the info we've got on him. Yeah, this is a weird spot that I probably shouldn't even be in. Should just fold this hand. With 3-bet bluffing pre-flop against someone who looks like they're a fish. Don't do this, Reg. Don't know what's happened here. Brain fat. Call again. Number 6. Check. Just fold, Reg. Just fold. This is not a bluff catch spot. This is horrible from me. This is fucking horrible. This just can never be a call. So I call. This is really bad. Don't 3-bet this hand pre. Don't call this river. Fuck off, Reg. Yeah, fine. We won the hand. And maybe I had a read at the time, but this is such a big mistake pre-flop. And the rest of it, I don't care that I won. That's shit. I'm not happy with that. 2 10s, poster, ISO, call. C-bet small. Whatever. Call. Turn queen. Think probably continue barreling. The queen's pretty much a brick. He calls. Ripper jack. Probably just bet again. Although it's getting mighty, mighty thin now. If we check, if he's got like 6, 7, he's going to check that back. But does he call with that anyway? Do we check to allow him to maybe turn a made hand into a bluff, or value bet too thin, or just bluff? Maybe check. Maybe check and decide. He bets big. I think this is a spot where the stuff I learned about mass data is when the villains big bet rivers in position, they're usually pretty strong. But this has been a weird hand. I mean, the queen and the jack are pretty much breaks. He has posted and called. Like, instinctively, I want to call, but my strategy that I'm currently employing wants to fold versus this size. I think I'm probably going to give in to my instincts here. And he did turn a weak made hand into a bluff, and we won. 10-6 off. What's that doing in here? Limp, check. We're going to flop a big hand, I assume. This guy just looks passive, so just bet. Raise. 3-bet then, Reg. All in call, whatever. This is what it is. We had the best hand and he sucked out. Good for him. And this is the last hand of the video. Ace Jack of clubs. Open. 3-bet from some kind of reg. Don't 4-bet, don't fold. Flop a good shot. He now bets quarter pot. I think we can do some raising versus this size. So we can also just call. Again, this is a spot where population are way overdoing the c-bet frequency here, and then way overfolding when raised. This is a pretty good spot for attacking. When you see this, whether I do here or not, I don't know. But it's not the worst spot to attack. Yeah, it's a great board for villains range, etc. But it's just a mass. They just do it too much. I think Pio, I think like Solvers here, are gonna have like a 50% c-bet range, frequency, sorry, and then not fold as frequently as population do. Population like c-bet this way more than Solver does, like way more, significant, like maybe half as much again as Solver does, and then they way overfold versus what Solver, how often Solver would fold. This is just a really sweet spot for attacking. But do we need to attack with this hand? Can we just call and try and realize? I do go with raise. He calls. I think once they don't fold, then they just can have quite a solid range. Because we're attacking, we're trying to get the overfolds. When they don't overfold, then their continuing range is just really strong, or pretty damn strong. We have a load of equity here now. We've turned an open ender, but I think we have like very limited fold equity now. Once they bet call flop, I think our fold equity is close to non-existent. But we have a decent chunk of pot equity. I imagine I'd just check back here. I'd like to see myself check back. So I think we just don't have any fold equity. We do check back. We river the nuts. Villain goes all in. At this point, I did activate the slow roll. And I did activate some emojis before calling. And villain had that. And I've no idea what the fuck. I mean, I know he's bluffing the river, but I don't understand it. And we dragged the pot. And that's the end of all our hands. Here are the results for the week that we just looked at. Very, very good, very solid week. Only 10,000 hands. So in terms of volume, quite pathetic again. I did spend quite a lot of time dicking around on GG, which I'll talk about in just a minute. But we really can't complain the win rate. You know, we've won at something like 14 bigs 100, I think, something like that. We did run well, we're above EV for the week. I don't care. Oh, sorry, 12.94 bigs 100 to be precise. Just a really good, really solid week. Really happy with it. Really happy with my strategy at the moment. I think I'm finding some half decent exploits versus population. And they're just running well as well. As Enoch said, and I think it was on the last video, basically, it's a great skill to just fucking find idiots and run well. And that's what I'm doing at the moment. Like I say, my volume isn't where I want it to be. I'm putting quite a lot of hours into poker because I am playing quite a lot on GG, just fucking around with a small bankroll, try to spin it up with limited success, to be honest. I'm not doing very well on GG, but I am enjoying the challenge of not going broke and hopefully at some point hitting a bit of a growth spurt. We might do some videos on GG later this week. It's half term, so I have my mate Quinn earlier these weeks. I think I'm I can't remember what times I'm having him, but the times I'm having him at 11 o'clock, I can maybe squeeze an hour of GG. And so there might be a GG Russian cash video coming later this week. But for now, we are out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please do leave comments. Hopefully I've encouraged some comments this week, more than I normally do. Hopefully we'll see some. Hopefully that'll help the video get a few more views. And yeah, see you either later this week or sometime next week. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye for now.